Is Stephen Bunting the next darts world champion? Well, history suggests that he might well be. Let's have a look and see why, shall we? So, the 2025 Bahrain Darts Masters came to a conclusion yesterday, and in the end, it proved to be a pretty decent way to kick off the brand new year for darts. Obviously, as we all probably would have expected going into the tournament, the last 16 first round games weren't the best. To be fair, they usually aren't in these World Series events, because obviously, you're playing against players who are representing like either the country or the region or whatever, so yeah, you're not really expecting the highest quality games. But yeah, I tell you what, those quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals were some pretty good games. I mean, literally, unfortunately I missed pretty much most of the quarterfinals because I was at work, but yeah, I watched them back, and fucking hell, like, just unbelievable standard from our Premier League and PEC representatives. So yeah, very, very good job from everybody involved, really. And yeah, we're just going to quickly go through some of the best games, the highest averages, the standout players, and then of course going to be talking about Stephen Bunting towards the end as well. Going on to the top 3 averages from the tournament, Luke Littler averaging 105.12 in his 6-2 defeat to Gerwyn Price. 2 legs he got on the ball in that match, and he got 105 average. Mental. I mean, that was just a bonkers game, it really was. Stephen Bunting averaging 111.33 in his whitewash victory over Chris Dobie the game before that. I mean, Stephen Bunting, he was just on fucking steroids this whole tournament, and yeah, Dobie, although he had new darts, who was giving him a first time run out, Bunting absolutely annihilated him. And then the highest average was recorded not just in the Bahrain Darts Masters for this year, but in World Series history. Gerwyn Price averaging 115.31 in that game against Luke Littler. I mean, Gerwyn Price, I mean, you can say what you want about him, his form from the last 12 months or whatever, but yeah, he was just electric in that match and in this tournament. He seemed to be sort of back to his old self, and yeah, absolutely battered Littler. And to be fair, how many people can say that they've actually done that? Van Gerwen. Van Gerwen's probably the only one who can say that, and he's just lost to Littler in the fucking world final. Crazy from Gerwyn Price, and yeah, 115 average was crazy. Also want to mention Nathan Aspinall, 101 average, again against Luke Humphries, who Humphries himself averaged over a ton. Yeah, it's crazy. Those quarterfinals were absolutely mental, and we're going to go on to those in just a moment now with the best games of the tournament. So I've picked out 4 games for me as the best 4 games, starting off with Luke Humphries versus Nathan Aspinall in the quarterfinal, finished 6-5. Yeah, to be fair, absolutely brilliant game from both players, both averaging over a ton, as I've just mentioned. Nathan Aspinall will probably be a bit annoyed that he didn't win this game. He was 4-2 up, had the dart in the side and leg, but Humphries was just like, I mean, those 160 outshot and the 1-2-3, just, yeah, he really did pull out the bag when it mattered, which is why, he is the number 1 and the former world champion. He's the best in the world for a reason, because he can make those moments count. And for Nathan, I mean, to be fair, obviously, I don't want to take anything away from Nathan, because he played out of his skin. Again, he's had a really tough time with injuries and dartitis, but pretty really well. So he missed a match start as well. I'll be that bullseye. But he missed a match start, and yeah, he'll be feeling aggrieved that he didn't win that match. And but I mean, again, he had a lot of missed doubles, as well. So it is one of those games, unfortunately. But I think he'll still be pretty happy overall with how he performed at this tournament. Stephen Bunting is 6, Chris Dobie 0 again in the following quarterfinal. I mean, again, obviously we just spoke about this one. Obviously, Chris Dobie showcasing his new darts, and that he's just manufactured. So I mean, I don't know whether this was his decision or like management from Target or whatever. But yeah, probably not the best time to show off your new darts in the middle of a tournament. I know it's only like a World Series event, but even still, it wasn't exactly clever from whoever gave that decision the green light. No pun intended there. But I mean, even still, Stephen Bunting, as I mentioned before, 111 average, and a 6-0 win in the quarterfinal against, again, like someone else who's in the top 10 in the world. You can't look past that, and yeah, great game there. And then the quarterfinals just keep on coming. I've just mentioned before, Luke Littler 2, Gerwyn Price 6. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, literally, both players playing out, like, literally, if you thought the Humphreys Aspinall game was amazing, this game just absolutely fucking trumped that one. It was just two players who were playing their absolute best stuff, and then it was just unfortunate, you know, for little of that. Again, you know, literally averaging 105, and he only won 2 legs. This is crazy. It's absolutely mental. But again, shout out to Gavin Price as well, you know. Again, highest ever average on the World Series, and to do it against the reigning world champion, and someone he's been fucking just like last few months in particular has been just too good. Shout out to Gezi, you know, fair play. And then finally, I'm going to have to mention the semi-final. That was Luke Humphreys 6, Stephen Bunting 7. Again, you know, what a comeback from Stephen Bunting, you know, 6-4 down, survived the match dart in that 11th leg and came back right off the last 3 legs in a row to take. I mean, to be fair, Humphreys looked as though he was going to, well, not cruise his way to victory, but, you know, he all looked relatively comfortable. But yeah, I mean, Bunting just pulled out the bag last couple of legs, and then ultimately, in the end, I'd say, deserved the victory, so fair play to Bunting there. Now moving on to the players, you know, who I can see, you know, had a good tournament, and to be fair, I've pretty much gone with 6 of the PDC representatives. I've gone with Stephen Bunting, obviously, you know, winning another title. Obviously, you know, he had some bad luck with finals last year. Obviously, he won the Masters back in February, but you know, 6 Pro Tour finals, lost all of them, so he'll be happy, you know, to finally get back to winning ways in the final. Again, Gavin Price as well, one of the shock choices for the Premier League and World Series. You know, he had a very good tournament, reaching the final. Overall, looked pretty comfortable in every single game he played as well, so, you know, you can't deny that. Luke Humphreys, although he'll probably be disappointed he didn't make the final at least, he still had a good tournament, you know, absolutely annihilated after the seed in round 1. Showed some real resilience to beat Nathan Aspinall in the quarterfinals, but unfortunately just came up just dry against Stephen Bunting, where he still played very well. Peter Wright as well, obviously he was the first reserve player, so to speak, obviously due to Van Gogh and sort of being on holiday. You know, he did very well. I'll also do fair, it wasn't, his games weren't classics by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, he still progressed all the way through to the semi-finals, so, you know, he did very well. Nathan Aspinall, again, you know, he got knocked at quarterfinals, but at the same time, you know, did very well in his first round game against Zhao Zhangzong. Didn't look too out of sorts there. And to be fair, again, felt you'll probably be feeling unlucky that you did lose to Luke Humphreys in that quarterfinal again, or averaging 101, 6-180s, and he was winning 4-2 as well. I mean, I don't want to be adding salt to the wounds for Nathan Aspinall, but, you know, I think he'll be feeling pretty good about himself. And Luke Littler, I think Littler himself probably wouldn't maybe agree with it by any means, but to be fair, again, he was just unlucky. You know, I mean, to be fair, literally any other game with 105 average would have comfortably won. Unfortunately, came against, again, I said multiple times already, but Gavin Price with 115 average in that one there. I haven't included Chris Dobie in this one, just on the fact that, to be fair, his first round game against Bassem Mahmoudi, and he didn't have to play well. And you know, again, kind of dragged out a little bit, but I mean, to be fair, again, then losing 6-0 to Bunting. I mean, yeah, again, you know, you can use the excuse of his new darts or whatever, but again, I don't think Dobie's opening, his debut at the World Series was that great, in my opinion, for what it could have been anyway. You know, yeah, I don't seem harsh, but that's that. And then again, you know, Rob Cross becoming the first ever PDC player to lose in the first round at the Bahrain Masters. You know, again, it's only the 3rd tournament, but, you know, like last 2 years, all 8 PDC players made it through to the quarterfinals. Rob Cross becoming the first to not do that. And yeah, it wasn't a great game at all for Rob Cross. You know, you can tell, you know, that he was just struggling on his beloved 18s. That's when you're like, Rob Cross, there's something not right there. And yeah, Rob Cross, not great there. And also Paul Breeder, you know, shout out to him. Obviously, you know, had a great run at the World Championship. Followed that up with a brilliant win over Rob Cross as well in the first round. And you know, he pushed Peter Wright as far as he could. But in the end, it wasn't quite there for the Filipino. Now, moving on to the reason why you're all here is to talk about Stephen Bunting, obviously now the world number 5. Obviously, last year was a brilliant year for Stephen Bunting in the PDC. Obviously, won the Masters, his first major title win at the PDC. You know, did very well at the major tournament as well. You know, obviously made it to the semi-finals of the World Championship as well. And of course, you know, all those Pro Tour finals, which, you know, he'll not be happy about, you know, making 6 finals. You can't ignore that, really. And you know, and to be fair, I think some people might be thinking, you know what, could he be the next world champion? And to be fair, history could suggest that he might be. You know, looking at his run at the Bahrain Masters this year, after the last 16, a 6-2 win against Nathan Kumar, 95 average, 75% on the checkouts, you know, 6 out of 8 on the doubles, nicely done there. Quarterfinal, that 6-1 win against Dobie, again 111 average, but still 6% on the checkouts. Semi-final win against Luke Humphries, just like literally just shy of a ton, literally 99.96, and hit half his darts double. And then in the final, in the 8-4 win against Goen Price, 99 average, again shy of a ton again, 47% on the checkouts as well. So overall, he had a very, very good tournament. Stephen Bunting was the very much deserved winner of the Bahrain Trophy. But if we're looking at, obviously this was the third ever Bahrain Masters. I mean, if we're looking at previous history, the last two winners of this trophy also were world champions, literally within less than a year of winning the trophy. Obviously, going back to 2023, Michael Smith had literally just won the world championship like a few weeks before. Then goes on and wins the Bahrain Masters. So yeah, you know, he's did very well there. And obviously Luke Littler, obviously won the Bahrain Masters last year, and then went on to win the World Championship a couple of weeks ago. And also both Smith and Littler both won the Grand Slam a few weeks before, before they ended up lifting the World Championship. And yeah, like, you know, that last 3 years as well. You know, the winner of the Grand Slam has then gone on to win the World Championship. So basically, all I'm saying is right. If Stephen Bunting wins the Grand Slam this year, I would put your money on him winning the World Championship in 2026. That's all I'm saying. And who knows what else he could do? You know, he could win another major. You know, he could win the Premier League. You know, he could you know, do well where he could win more on the World Series. You know, I mean, to be fair, I think this year, I think it's a massive year for Stephen Bunting. Not on the pressure that he's got to win anything. That's not it at all. But just the fact that he has so many opportunities now to win more than what he was before. Obviously, this is his first year in the Premier League in over a decade, and he's poised, you know, to have a very good campaign. I'm pretty sure most people are probably backing him to reach the playoffs come the end of the Premier League campaign. I know I am at the moment anyway. So. I know, as I mentioned before, world number 5. This year, like, his life is his oyster right now. He's in a very, very good position to progress. So, yeah, it's exciting times if you're a lad from Liverpool called Stephen Bunting, you know. So, that's it for this video. You know, again, it's been great getting back in the swing of things. You know, the Bahrain Masters would, in my opinion, a great way to kick things off. We are in Den Bosch on Friday and Saturday, you know, which in my opinion is the toughest and most competitive event on the World Series, other than obviously the finals, which will be in September. But you know, the Dutch Masters, you know, you obviously not only have your PDC players, but obviously got all the Dutch lads as well. You know, Danny Noppert, Van Barneveld, Veenstra, what Mina, who seems to be back in good form, Van den Berg. You know, so yeah, some good players in the wings there to take on our PTC players. So it should be an interesting tournament next weekend. I'm very much looking forward to talk about that, and of course, obviously cover it for you guys as well. So hope you guys stick around for that. But that's it for me on this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you all next time.